with the harvest market, it is kind of a collaboration of the vendors, the produce, the artisans, and then special events on top of it. For instance, today we're having the Porch Pig Challenge finale and a classic car cruising, and next week we'll be having an Apple Palooza with an apple pie contest and square dancing. We've got spooky stories coming up by the library. The children's librarian is coming to read ghost stories to the kids. We're gonna have bonfires and all kinds of fun stuff for the remaining 6 weeks after this week.
Well, the Garden City Farmers Market is located in where the Garden City Chili Cook-Off is, which is the northeast corner of Ford and Middlebelt, right behind the Oakwood Medical Building. And if you know where we always had the Chili Cook-Off and the Lucky Squirrel, we're in the same spot. So.
Has it been a challenge to get vendors and to get produce kind of at the last minute?
It was a little nerve-wracking, but we were pretty confident that we could pull it off. Luckily, Melissa does do 5 markets, and she was able to speak with a lot of vendors. Our farmer is Sharkar Farms, and they take WIC and the bridge card and the double up bucks. We just learned that today, so we want everybody to know that they can come up and get produce from them if they have those things to use. And they have about 30 square feet of produce, and they were amazing. We called them earlier this week when our other 2 vendors had pulled out, and they agreed to come out and set up for us. They're going to be with us for all 7 weeks. We're really thankful for them. And then the other artisans and vendors, I mean, they're just very supportive, and it's been really neat. And then also we have the Garden City Library up here doing their pie sale for their fundraiser. And we will continue to have community-oriented groups up here to do what they need to do, including the library is going to have a costume swap for kids here on the 14th. So it's going to be neat.
Towards the end of, like in October, it's probably going to be around, I'm hoping around the 7th is when we can start having the bonfires and the ghost stories around there. And then it's basically the whole month of October, every Friday, it's all themed. So, and hopefully if I can get vendors on board to decorate their tents all Halloween-y, that would be awesome. So it's going to be great. And then we're going to have Pumpkin Palooza on the 23rd.
Yep, and then we're having a big Halloween bash on the 28th, which is the closing of the market.
And Willie's 5th birthday is on the 30th
yes,
of September.
With the Garden City Garden Club's perennial sale. So that's going to be very fun.
And Cougar Pride on the 7th of October. So
yes.
Come out, wear your colors.
Lots of things planned. The DDA has been amazing and supportive, and Teresa and Kim have been so on board and helpful and just amazing resources. We actually both called the DDA within 3 days of each other, and Teresa and Kim were kind enough to put us in contact with each other. And the reason why I called was because I've been driving out to Brighton to do their farmers market, and I didn't want to drive an hour anymore. And so I called and asked, are we going to have a market here? And they said that they needed volunteers, and I said, well, I'll volunteer. And it just so happened that Melissa called a couple days later.
I always nag the DDA about the farmers market, so since there was somebody else who had interest in it, that I figure I could have my co-conspirator here.
And for me, I was born and raised in Garden City. My dad was born and raised in Garden City. My grandma still lives here in the same original house that she bought in like 1950. My kids go to school here, and my husband grew up here. I mean, we're just Garden City people in general, and I wanted to be here for my community instead of out in Brighton and Howell. So that was my reason.
Yeah, and I have actually we've been a Garden City resident now for, my son is in 10th grade, he started in kindergarten, so it's been 11 years. And believe it or not, this was kind of an accidental house buying kind of thing. So, and it's been the best thing I've ever had, because this is the best community ever. And I figured I did the original, when we originally had the Garden City Farmers Market back, I started that one in 2011, right after my daughters were born. And then in 2012 was the last one, and I've kind of wanted it back since then. And then finally, here we are. We finally got it up and running again. So hopefully next year we can keep it going. So.
Yes, hopefully.